Hey everybody, Big Friendly with Gen X Memories here. With all of the stuff flying around YouTube about Disney Star Wars latest release, The Acolyte, I thought that I should go ahead and uh, tell us my opinion in the ring. I haven't seen it, nor do I have any plans to watch it. Star Wars Episode 4 is my favorite movie of all time. No doubt about it. I've always said that for as long as I can remember. A New Hope is my number one favorite movie of all time. I was born in 1970, and I saw the movie in 1977. I was 7 years old with my older brother, one of his friends, and my mom. And I was too young to totally appreciate the film, but I was still totally blown away by mostly the special effects. Now, when they re-released it in 1979, before The Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, I went to see it again. I was a lot more able to follow it, and was a little older, but it's always been my favorite movie. Now, if you were to ask me what's your favorite top 10 movies, 1 to 10, I'd have to sit down and do some thinking and writing. But I know Star Wars Episode 4 is number one. It always has been. I don't see that changing. Now, of course, growing up with the original trilogy, I enjoyed all three movies. Seen them in my lifetime. I've seen them all dozens of times, maybe 100 or more times. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. At the very least, Star Wars and Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back is good, but it's a little bit slower. Not as much action. But anyway, I've seen all of them a lot. The prequels came out. I went to see Episode 1 and 2 and 3 at the movies, and they never really did anything for me. I know it's going to probably piss some folks off, but it just didn't do anything for me. The first and second one, they had some great characters, some good actors, some great characters. It just didn't draw me in. I don't know. Maybe I was too old. I really do believe that as a 50-something-year-old man looking back, to the 70s and the 80s, I really think that Lucas, the timing was perfect. I mean, it was something that was new, totally different, had never been done before, and he timed it perfectly. I think that was a lot of the reason it was such a huge success. And it was really different. I mean, we saw things we'd never seen before, at the movies. So, it was going to be hard for him to make everybody happy. That's just the way it is. Now, I know a lot of people, especially people that are younger than me, love the prequels. Now, Episode 3, I have seen more than once. I like it a lot better than the first two, but I have never seen Episode 1 or 2 all the way through again since I saw them at the movies. Never have. Now, let's fast forward a bit to 2015 when The Force Awakens comes out. I went to see it with my older brother, his wife, my nieces, and I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't perfect. I think the biggest thing that kind of bothered me was how fast Rey became a Jedi. It was like she didn't even go through any training. It's like just from the time of the movie, she didn't know anything to the end. She's like, this is the best ever. I thought that was kind of stupid, but it's cool having Han and Leia and Chewie and the droids and all that back. And the story wasn't bad. I know a lot of people say it was Tatooine all over again. I guess that's kind of true, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was enough to keep my attention to, especially the way it ended, with them going over the island and you see Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, and it ends. It really is like, you're like, oh, wow, I can't wait to see what happens next. So, I thought they had laid the foundation for something really good. After that, I thought The Last Jedi was absolutely terrible. I thought the way they wrote the part for Luke Skywalker was awful. I thought he was terrible in the movie. It was just horrible. And the whole thing with with Princess Leia getting sucked out into space and floating around and then she lives, it was just so stupid. I just couldn't take it seriously. And I remember walking away from that thinking, I'm done with this crap. I'm not going to race to go see the next thing. I'm going to wait and see what everybody else says, and then I'll check it out. And to this day, I have never seen the Rise of Skywalker, the last one. I've never seen it, and I don't really care to. Now, I did enjoy the Rogue One movie. I thought that was pretty darn good. I thought the story was cool. About the Death Star and everything, the way they added Tarkin. I know you could tell it was fake and everything, but I still thought it was neat how they added him in there, with computers and all. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie, and I've actually seen it more than once. But as far as the regular trilogy goes, I've never seen the last one. Don't care to. Now, let's move ahead. The Mandalorian comes along, and I start hearing some good things about this show. So I decided to check it out, and even my ex-wife, go back and watch my first video if you want to know about that backstory. She liked it. We watched the first season, and then we watched the second season. I thought it was really well done, good story, good characters. And then I saw that they basically they fired Gina Carano. And when I saw what they fired her over, I was just shaking my head. I was like, are they crazy? I mean, she was doing such a fantastic job. And then, of course, they trashed the series after that, too. So I never finished it. I've heard, and I think a lot of people quit on it. It just really bothers me, because you often hear these people with Disney, it's all about this, the inclusion and all this other bullshit. And I don't believe that Disney, the corporation, gives two shits about inclusion. I believe, I want to say it's about money. And the reason I want to say that, but then I see this, they keep coming out with this stuff, and it's terrible. It's just horrible. But even going all the way back to 2015 for The Force Awakens, they talk about this, and then you see the movie poster for The Force Awakens in the United States, and then you see the same movie poster for the release over in China. And you see what they do. For the Chinese one, they airbrushed Finn out. Now, what is this about? I thought y'all were all about inclusion and all this. I mean, no, they're not. And I honestly think they're full of shit. I don't believe it for a minute. I think they're full of shit. And the way Star Wars is now, I didn't watch The Acolyte, like I said. I've seen some of the videos, and I've seen people who are just absolute diehards who will bend over backwards trying to, give the Star Wars a chance. And everybody, is talking about how bad this thing is. And I've seen some clips, and it just looks so stupid. But there's no way, I'm going to give Disney a nickel of my money. I think they're bad news, and my hope, honestly, I'm gonna wrap this up because I pretty much, I've told you what I need to tell you, but my hope is that they will continue to do stupid stuff, and that eventually they'll lose so much money, and somebody else who at least has a little bit of regular common business sense will buy everything Star Wars from them. They'll unload it. And then we can just basically erase everything, back to 2015. Just throw it all away, and redo it. Wouldn't bother me one bit if they did that. But that's what I would like to see. But I'm not sweating over this either way. It doesn't matter. If they want to destroy it, let them destroy it. It's already been done, and they continue to do it. So, but I just wanted to tell y'all what I thought about that. But the original trilogy, boom, 3 of my favorite movies, big time. My next video, I'll be back into games, but I just wanted to talk about this because it seems to be a hot topic right now. Thank y'all for watching so much. Like and subscribe. See you soon. Bye-bye.